Students, Sanjay Sir is here to teach you history. Chapter 1, the Harpan civilization. The part 3, that is, it will discuss origin of the civilization. Sir John Marshall was the first person to use the term Indus civilization. The Indus or the Harpan civilization belongs to the Chalcolithic or Bronze Age, since the objects of copper and the stone were found at the various sites of this civilization. Nearly 1400 Harpan sites are known so far in the subcontinent. The discovery of India's first and earliest civilization posed a historical seemed to have suddenly appeared on the stage of history, full grown and fully equipped. The Harpan civilization till recently showed no definite sign of birth and growth. The puzzle could largely be solved after the extensive excavation work conducted at Mehrgarh near the Bolan Pass. Between 1973 and 1980 by two French archaeologists, Richard H. Meadow and Jean-François Jarius. According to them, Mehrgarh gives us an archaeological record with a sequence of occupations. Archaeological research over the past decades has established a continuous sequence of strata, showing the gradual development to the high standard of the full-fledged Indus civilization. These strata have been named pre-Harpan, early Harpan, mature Harpan, and later Harpan phases or stages. By reviewing the main elements of the rural cultures of the Indian subcontinent, the origin of the Indus civilization can be traced. Any pre-Harpan culture claiming ancestry Indus civilization must satisfy two conditions. The first condition is that it must not only precede but also overlap the Indus culture. The second is that the essential element of Second is that the essential elements of the Indus culture must have been anticipated by the proto-Harpan or Indus culture in its material aspects, whereas the rudiments of town planning, provision of minimum sanitary facilities, knowledge of pictographic writing, the introduction of trade mechanisms, the knowledge of metrology, and the prevalence of ceramic traditions. The different stages of the indigenous evolution of the Indus can be documented by an analysis of four sites which reflect the sequence of the four important stages or phases in the prehistory and protohistory in the Indus Valley region. The sequence begins with the transition of nomadic herdsmen to settled agricultural communities as per the evidence found at the first site, that is Mehrgarh near the Bolan Pass, It continues with the growth of large villages and the rise of towns in the second stage exemplified at Amri. The Amri people did not possess any knowledge of town planning or of writing. The third stage in the sequence leads to the emergence of the great cities as in Kalibangan and finally ends with their decline, which is the fourth stage. And exemplified by Lothal, Amri, Kotdizian, and Kalimbangan cultures are stratigraphically found to be pre-Harpan. Pre-Harpan culture of Kalibangan in Rajasthan is termed as Sothi culture by Amalananda Ghosh, its excavator. The Harpan were old certain elements such as the fish scale people live where. The fourth Baluchi culture, the fourth Baluchi culture, we were Job, Quetta, Nal, and Kuli, undoubtedly pre-Harpan, also have some minor common features with the Indus civilization and cannot be considered as full-fledged proto-Harpan culture. The culture of northern Balochistan is termed as Jhob culture after the sites of the Jhob valley, the chief among them being Rana Gundai. This culture is characterized by black and red wear and terracotta female figurines. Nal culture is characterized by the use of white clipped wear with attractive polychrome paintings and the observance of fractional burial. The characteristic pottery of the Quetta culture is the buffware, painted in black pigment and decorated with geometrical designs. Apart from the painted motifs such as the people leaf and sacred brazier, some pottery shapes are common to the Harpan and Kuli culture. All these pre-Harpan habitations preceding the phase of Harpan civilization shows evidence of people living in houses of stone and mud bricks. Similarly, where similarities were found in the cultural traditions of the diverse agricultural communities living in the Indus region in the early Indus period. During the urban phase, this fused into one great tradition. So, however, even in the early Indus period, use of similar kinds of pottery, terracotta, mother goddess, representation of the horned deity in many sites show the way to the emergence of a homogeneous tradition in the entire area. The people of Balochistan had already established trading relations with the towns of the Persian Gulf and Central Asia. Kuli, situated on the southern foothills of the Baluchi mountains near the Makran coast, occupies an important position on the trade route between the Persian Gulf and Indus Valley. Thus, the available evidence suggests that the Harpan culture had its origin in the Indus Valley. And even within the Indus Valley, several cultures seem to have contributed to the evolve the urban civilization. There is no evidence to suggest that the Indus people borrowed anything substantial from the Sumerians. It is thus difficult to accept, sir, the idea of civilization came to the Indus Valley from Mesopotamia. So next, town planning. Town planning is the unique feature of Indus Valley civilization. The planning proves that they lived a highly civilized and developed life. So Indus people were the first to build planned cities with scientific drainage system. The Indus cities were built on sperm plan. So town planning was amazing in nature. A few cities, citadels to the west built on higher platform, and to the east of which is the hub of residential area. Both of them are surrounded by a massive brick wall. The cities without citadel are found on high mounds. So here in the town planning of the Indus Valley civilization, streets were straight and cut each other at right angles. They were 13 to 34 feet wide and were well lined. The streets and roads divided the city into rectangular blocks. Archaeologists have discovered the lamp posts at intervals. This suggests the existence of street lights. Dustbins were also provided on the streets. This proved the presence of good municipal administration. Next, drainage system. One of the most remarkable features of the Indus Valley civilization is that the city was provided with an excellent closed drainage system. Each house had its own drainage and soak pit, which was connected to the brick-like channels flowed through every street. They were covered and had manholes at intervals for and clearing purposes. Large brick culverts with corbelled roofs were constructed on the outskirts of the city to carry excess water. Thus, Indus people had a perfect underground drainage system. Contemporary civilization gave so much attention to cleanliness. Great birth. It is, I have already told you this, and so the most striking feature in Mohenjo-daro is the Great Birth. It consists of a large quadrangle. In the center there is a huge swimming pool, approximately 39 feet long, 23 feet wide and 8 feet deep, with the remains of the galleries and rooms on all four sides. It has a flight of steps at end and is fed by a well situated in one of the adjoining rooms. The water was discharged by a huge drain with corbelled roof more than 6 feet in depth. The Great Birth had 8 feet thick outer walls. This solid construction has successfully withstood the natural ravages for 5,000 years. There were arrangements for hot water bath in some rooms. Next, granaries. The largest building in Mohenjo-daro is granary, which is 45.71 meters long and 15.23 meters wide. In Harpa, there are a series of brick platforms which formed the base for two rows of six granaries each. In the brick platforms have also been formed. These granaries safely stored the grains which were probably collected as revenue or storehouses to be used in emergencies. Then buildings. People of Indus Valley civilization built houses and other buildings by the side of roads. They built terraced houses of burnt bricks. Every house had two or more rooms. There were also around an inner courtyard and contained pillared halls, bathrooms, paved floors, kitchen, well, etc. Besides residential quarters, elaborate structures have also been formed. One of these buildings has got the biggest hall measuring 80 feet long and 80 feet wide. It might have been a palace, a temple, or hall for holding meetings. The workmen quarters. There was an excellent system of water supply. These were public wells by the side of streets. Every big house had its own well. They also built a dockyard at some of the characteristic features of the town falling. Here first, each city had divided into two parts. The raised area called the citadel and the lower town. Citadel owed its height to the buildings which were constructed on mud bricks platform, and citadels was separated from the lower town by a wall. And second, the main streets followed a grid platform running from north to south or from east to west. The houses at street corners were rounded to allow carts to pass easily. Drains emptied all wastewater into the street drains. The streets crossed the main road at right angles, divided the city into square or rectangular. Then next is trade and transport. Civilization's economy appears to have depended significantly on trade, which was facilitated by major advances in transport technology. The Indus Valley civilization may have been the first wheeled transport. These advances may have included bullock carts that are identical to those seen throughout South Asia today, as well as boats. Most of these boats were probably small, flat bottomed craft, perhaps driven by sail similar to those one can see on the Indus River today. However, there is secondary evidence of sea-going crafts. Archaeologists have discovered a massive dredged canal and what they regard as a docking facility at the coastal city of Lothal in western India, that is Gujarat state, and extensive canal network used for irrigation has, however, also been discovered by H.P. Frankfurt. Harpan burnished and painted clay void vase with round carnelian beads. So during 4300 BC to 3200 BC of the Chalcolithic period, the Indus Valley civilization area shows ceramic similarities with southern Turkmenistan and northern Iran, which suggest considerable mobility and trade. During the early Harpan period, about 3200 BC to 2600 BC, similarities in pottery, seals, figurines, ornaments, etc. documents extensive caravans trade with Central Asia and the Iranian plateaus. So archaeological discoveries suggest that trade route between Mesopotamia and the Indus were active during 3rd million BC, leading to the development of Indus-Mesopotamian relations. Boats with direction finding birds to find land, model of Mohenjo-daro seal, that is 2500 BC to 1750 BC is given. Judging from the dispersal of Indus civilization artifacts, the trade networks economically integrated a huge area including portions of Afghanistan, the coastal regions of Persia, northern and western India and Mesopotamia, leading to the development of Indus-Mesopotamian relations. Studies of tooth enamel from individuals buried at Harpa suggest that some residents had migrated to the cities from beyond the Indus Valley. There is some evidence that trade contact extended to Crete and possibly to Egypt. There was an extensive maritime trade network operating between the Harpan and Mesopotamia civilizations. As early as the Middle Harpan phase, with much commerce being handled by middlemen merchants from Dilmun, modern Bahrain and Persian Gulf. Such long distance sea trade became feasible with the development of plank built watercraft equipped with a single central mast supporting a sail of woven rushes or cloth. It is generally assumed that most trade between the Valley and western neighbor proceeded of the Persian Gulf rather than Oberlin, although there is no controversial proof that this was indeed the case. The distribution of Indus type artifacts on the Oman Peninsula or Bahrain and the South Mesopotamia makes it plausible that a series of maritime stages linked the Indus Valley and the Gulf region. In the 1980s, important archaeological discoveries were made at Ras Al Ain, Oman, that is demonstrating maritime Indus Valley connecting with the Arabian Peninsula.